What's up, YouTube? Not your typical night here at Trail Blogger headquarters. Got the Banshee kind of half tore apart. Got the stator cover off. If you guys remember, it was making a pretty good noise there in one of the last videos. Enough to make me concerned. I had something pretty catastrophic going on, and what it ended up being was the Woodruff key on the crankshaft there had just about almost severed. It wasn't severed completely, but the nut that holds the flywheel on had basically loosened up. So probably my mistake, I'm not sure. It was a used flywheel. For whatever reason, I was not using the flywheel I had before that. I had kind of forgotten it at home that night, and Crazy D helped me throw the engine back together, and he offered to let me use his, and I swapped his for mine. And anyway, long story short, I now have my original flywheel, and I'm getting ready to put that back on, and I'm going to torque it to spec this time. Got some other stuff here to try and help fix the shaft, because it got a little bit messed up when the flywheel started chattering around on there. It basically left some score marks on the shaft, and I need to smooth it out so that the taper will fit correctly on my flywheel. It's got quite a bit of pitting and just some marks that, you know, it's got to be perfectly smooth from what I understand to bolt on and taper down tight. So I've got some stuff here to help with that, and this is suggested to me by Dave Stockin, and a bunch of buttheads on Facebook. Some guys up there in northwestern states, and they ride the Oregon dunes. Hopefully get to ride with those guys, and Kevin Galindo, South Texas Banshee, someday. Those guys are all in a group, and we chat, and Dave was the one that had recommended that I use some of this 160 grit emery cloth to kind of take down the high spots and smooth it out a little bit first, and then put some of the fine grade lapping compound on there, and just kind of spin the flywheel around a couple times by hand first, just to smooth it out and really take out the high and the lows, and just really try and get it to meet up as perfectly as possible, because you want the inside of this flywheel to be on the shaft as smoothly and perfectly as possible. So again, I'm going to take some of this 160 grit emery cloth. Got this down at Ace Hardware, and got this over at O'Reilly. Metal grinding compound. You can see, I think it even shows the end of a shaft on there, and it's also for doing valves, but you can see it shows a shaft on there as well. And then got some blue Permatex, like the biggest bottle of blue Permatex I could find. I think this is like a $20 bottle of Permatex in my hand here. It's an ounce and a quarter of blue Permatex. So I'm going to make sure to torque it down to spec this time, not just unga junga on there. I'm not going to use the old the old impact this time. I'm going to actually torque it to spec. I didn't use a torque. I didn't use one of those impacts last time. I'm purely kidding. But I didn't torque it to spec. I did just pretty much tighten it as tight as I could. I didn't torque it down. I didn't know what the torque spec was. I just tightened it like an idiot, like a fool. Kind of got in a hurry, threw it back on there, and now I'm paying for it. So moral of the story: if you don't want your flywheel to come loose, use one that you know is good. Use a good flywheel. And tighten it to spec, and put blue Loctite on it. So yeah, I'm going to try and get that cleaned up. smoothed out. Get my new Woodruff keys on there. Actually, I got 2 of these in the mail. Just went on eBay and just ordered up a couple of them. Yamaha 90280-05033. And you can see it's not a really standard size Woodruff either. It's like rounded. It's flat in the middle on the top, and then it's like rounded on the corners, and it's got a flat bottom on it. So it's just a weird looking Woodruff, but I wanted to make sure I got the stock one. I didn't want to just try and wing it with some random Woodruff. I wanted to get the right OEM parts to go on there, and hopefully it works good. So check in with you guys a little bit later when I get the flywheel cleaned up a little bit better here. Maybe get a light on it so you guys can see a little bit better. Alright, just torquing this down. It's 58 foot-pounds. And so I got my torque wrench on there, socket, and I didn't have anything to hold the flywheel from turning. So I took a 2x4 and a couple of carriage bolts and made a flywheel holder. And it seems pretty good. I just torqued it down and it clicked. It's hard to hold the camera and turn a wrench at the same time, so you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it that the 2x4 flywheel holder worked like a charm.